Hello everyone, I'm Sarah Peacock and I'm delighted to welcome you to my chat with Allen Drysdale, soon to become the new chairman of the British Charolais Cattle Society. We've just topped 20,000 followers on Facebook, and with this difficult time, we thought it would be quite a good idea to run a series of webinars to post online, introducing you to some of our officials and members. So keep a lookout for more. Good evening, Allen. Perhaps we could start by talking about your Charolais cattle. Tell me a bit about your farm and how long you've been in the breed.
Good evening, Sarah. Thank you for that. We're a upland mixed livestock farm situated in Blairgowrie, which is just about half an hour north of Perth. We run about 1,000 acres here. We have 700 breeding ewes, and we have 150 breeding cows, which 45 of those cows are Charolais. The farm is run in partnership with my mother and father and my fiancée Fiona. And we've been in Charolais cattle probably 18 years since the very first Charolais cattle we got. That was 2002. I bought a cow. Didn't really do much with them until 2008. Then I really tried to make a go in 2008, and we purchased 3 heifers from Bill Bruce at Balmile Charolais in 2008, and one of them has gone on to be really the foundation of our herd, to be honest. We then purchased 2 cows and calves from Graham Massey at Blelik, I think the following year. And a couple of years after that, we purchased 4 heifers from Mike Massey at Elric and 1 heifer from Mornty Farms at Ailith. And that's really the foundation of my herd. And it was a commercial background, to be honest. We always ran a Charolais bull on our commercial cows and sold suckle calves through our local market at Perth at the time. And I had a real keen interest in the Charolais just because of having commercial cattle and going to the sales and watching how the experts did it at the bull sales and how the experienced stockmen. And I really enjoyed it, and I always thought I'd love to be part of that sometime. Hence the reason we are where we are today. So that's a little bit of background about our farm here at home.
And Allen, how many Charolais cattle have you got at the moment, and what bulls have been particularly influential on your herd?
The bulls that have been most influential in our herd so far to date have been, firstly, starting with Ballandalach Upmost. He was an Inverlochy Resolve son, and he left a lot of very good females to start our herd with, soft flesh and milky as well. And these cows have gone on to breed very well. And secondly, we purchased a bull, Kaler's Gladiator, with the Millen family of Elgin herd, and he's done an amazing job, better job than we could ever imagined. He's left some really breedy females with lovely breed character in them, and those females have gone on to breed very, very well. But he's also bred a lot of very good sons as well for both herds. But he's really done a great job. He's bred a bull to 25,000 who was champion last February and top price, and he's also bred a lot of other very good bulls as well. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but we really do miss him, and he's done a tremendous job. And he put a bit of uniformity in our herd as well, because we were using a lot of AI before. We had a collection of cows rather than a herd of cows, and I believe that Kaler's Gladiator has really put a stamp on our cows to actually show we now have a herd of cows, I would say.
Another bull that's probably done me and looks to be doing me very, very well is a very old bull. And the reason I started using this very old bull, which was Fleet's Vibrant, was I was recovering from an accident and I was lying in my bed at home when the Jock Campbell, who was retired stockman at Balthake at the time, kindly sent me up Charolais journals from 1979, I think it was, to present day. Now that was way before I was ever in the Charolais, and I sat in my bed and I went through all these Charolais journals and I picked out bulls that I liked, either that had bred well or I'd bred good females, or I liked the look of visually. Then I made a list of these bulls. Then I went away to try and get semen off these bulls, and Fleet's Vibrant was one of them. And Fleet's Vibrant, I thought, could bring a lot to what the modern Charolais is. He could bring a lot of natural soft flesh, large scrotal size, good feet. And I think he has probably done me a tremendous amount of good, and I think he is going forward. We've got, we kept the first son out of a cow, and we kept him for ourselves. Glenelg Limpet was his name, and he's done very, very well. His first 8 sons have sold, and 3 of those 8 sons have gone into pedigree herds in the last 18 months, and he's left a lot of very, very good females, and we've got a lot of good cows coming on, and I think going forward the future looks very good with him. So that's an old bull in modern times that has a place, I feel, and he's done very well. So these will be the influential bulls that have done my herd a lot of good anyway, to be honest.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, out of interest, when you're out selecting a stock bull from the sales, what particular traits do you look for?
Firstly, the female line to me is the most important, because it's a female line you're really buying. The sire, the sire is important, but the female line is the most important as far as I'm concerned, because it all goes back to this cow family, and if the cow's right, the progeny will be right more often than not. So the female line, a strong female line, which needs a lot of research into the pedigree. The bull has to be very well balanced and correct. A head, I'm obsessive about heads. Anybody who knows me will say that I'm obsessed with a good head in an animal, which very, very seldom do you see a bad animal with a good head. So if the head is right, more often than not, the rest is right, as far as I'm concerned. It has to have soft flesh, good feet. Calving figures is becoming more and more important. You don't want extremities either way. A middle of the road bull with decent calving figures. Scrotal size is a very important thing for the figures, and fat depth as well. I think we need to pay attention to the fat depth is a big thing going forward. But no, a very well balanced bull, a lovely head, and very correct animal is really what I'm looking for. But the female line has to be right, more importantly.
Okay. What do you see as the main benefits of a Charolais as a terminal sire?
The main benefits, as far as I'm concerned, is basically what they can do in the store ring. At suckle calf age, you can get top trade for very good suckle calves at 6 months old, but you can also let them grow into yearlings, and they'll still be very good animals. You can finish them at a younger age, and they're, as far as I'm concerned, they're a lot more efficient than a lot of other breeds out there. And I think, to me, they're the ultimate terminal sire as far as I'm concerned, but I'm probably biased.
And how has the type of bull sought by today's customers changed since you've been in the breed?
I would say it has changed quite a bit, to be honest. I think now they're looking for maybe not quite so larger bull now. They're maybe looking for a slightly smaller bull, maybe slightly wider of a bull, slightly softer flesh, I would say, is becoming more and more important, because nobody wants to be feeding cattle more than they have to, especially with the carbon side of things going to come more and more into it. And I think if you can get an animal that fleshes easy, that's a big bonus. And I think more buyers are looking at figures nowadays as well. I think that not many buyers are looking to the very negative bulls. I think most buyers are looking for bulls with good calving figures as well. There's not maybe quite so strong a bone in the Charolais now as it used to be. I know it's a fine balance. You need to keep the bone, to keep the females, to keep the power in the females, because the Charolais is a very powerful animal. But I think there's a fine line. I think we need to be medium boned, not too coarseness. But I think what has the buyers are asking for are these things as well. Not as strong an animal as it used to be anyway. So that's what I think.
And with all the new testing that's becoming more and more available, how do you think that's helped to develop the breed?
Yeah, there's a lot came in just in the last few years. To me, the big thing that's come in the last few years is the myostatin. I think the myostatin's a massive step forward for the breed. Certainly for a pedigree point of view, because you always used to get a calf now and you think, well, why was that so muscly, or why was that this, or why was that that? But now, if you test all your cows, which we have done, and all the heifers, you can actually select which bull you put on these cows to try and get the right myostatins, so you're not going too far down one road or the other. So therefore, to eliminate some problems that might occur down the line if you go too far down the line with one myostatin, which you probably in the past would never have known of, but now you know of it. It is only a 1 in 4 chance of it taking it. But if you can minimise these problems going forward, I think the product at the end of the day that we're selling to the commercial farmer will be more suited for them, and also will end up with better results on the pedigree side as well.
So looking ahead to the future, what are your plans and where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I'd love to try and keep building on what we've done, excuse me, over the last couple of years, a few years. I know it'll be difficult to maintain it, but I think if I can try and keep our reputation, strive to improve our herd year on year, to try and get quality better, to give the customer a quality product that the customer's happy with and wants to return again, is probably where we want to be. So yeah, just keep going on the way we are if possible. So that's where I'd like to be in years to come.
Well, that's great. Thanks for chatting to me tonight, Alan, and we'll come back to you later on in the week to talk about your new role within the society. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.